Rewind the film, the bombs they drop was sinister. I witnessed black and white, but color depth we bring the minister. I know it's hard to hear it. The bomb destroyed more than buildings, now it's ashes spirits. God made man from dirt, you see the dust he made to breathe. Adam was a god, you see this purple, so are we. But this ain't nothing new, we've been here before. Listen to this warning before sinners fell below. Rest out and bass, loud echoes in the distance. See God's coming on the path. Faint whispers of a song. This the one who bring us home. Swing low from each area. Watch the spirit move through the bones. Watch the spirit move through the.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. You see what's going on, man. We down here at the Black Wall Street Blitz down here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Acts of the Apostles continue. Our people need to see this truth. They need to see black men represented, coming back to their nationality, coming back to their mindsets, that we are the gods of this earth. Let's get it. Most High in Christ bless.
Not depart. So when you train up the child, he will not depart from it. Because you've given him lessons day in and day out. My sister with the blue shirt on. I'm doing well. How are you doing, my sister? Your name is Awesome, or is that just a patch? Okay, what's your name?
Because I am awesome.
You are awesome. You awesome because you the children of Israel. That's why you're awesome. So, what's your name?
Shirley.
Shirley, my sister? Sandra? Sandra and Shirley. So on the topic, we were talking about raising kids, right? So how do we raise kids in society? How do we raise them? How should we raise them?
They're talking about the wrong example right now.
They are, right? Hold that Proverbs 1, right? Because now the Bible, we should go to the Bible to teach us how we should train the children, how we should train ourselves, right? Following multitude do evil. Was that 10?
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10.
Watch this, Sandra. Watch this, Shirley.
My son, if sinners entice thee.
So see, my son, if sinners entice thee, because a sinner is what?
Bring it out.
Huh?
Have the brothers out there.
Have the brothers out there? Hold that, you know what I want. Because what is sin according to the Bible?
Bring it out.
Okay, what you got?
There's a whole lot of different meanings for the word sin. You know that, right?
How many different meanings? Yeah, you got similar words.
Yeah, they got similar words, but they do have similar meaning.
Okay, watch this.
Okay, go ahead.
Watch it. We're going to read the scripture. Watch, we're going to read the scripture, and then it's going to be a word I want my brother to look up, right? You know what word I want you to look up on Google? Read.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin.
So whosoever commits sin, right? Topic is what? Sin, right? Read.
Transgresseth also the law.
So whoever commits a sin transgresseth also the law. Right. So now, what does transgress mean? So he's gonna Google it. We're gonna continue to read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is a transgression of the law. Now we need to know what transgression means, right? You got it?
It's coming up.
He got slow. He
I'll
got it. So now I know what it means. It's to break or violate a law. That is transgression. So when you break God's laws, that's what you're doing. You are in sin. So you're violating God's laws, right? Go ahead, read.
An act that goes against a law, rule, or code of conduct, an offense.
So rule or code of conduct, which is the conduct, is the Bible.
Right.
This is the rule we're supposed to live by, right? Okay, go back to read.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee.
So the sinners are who now? Well, there are a lot of people that sin, but what is sin according to the Bible? What was sin according to the Bible? Transgression or?
No, I said the ones that have.
But read it again.
My son, if sinners entice thee.
So if sinners entice your son, a sinner is what again? Transgression, or meaning to
our different ways, bad ways.
Break the law. Break the law. Break the law, right? Or violate the law, right? You said what? You country?
No, I'm from Mississippi, so I know.
Okay.
I was brought up in the Bible.
You brought up in the Bible. So is there a law that y'all are breaking?
I'm not breaking any.
No?
No.
So this is just for edification purpose. So because you said you know the Bible, right? So there's laws throughout the Bible. Okay.
Not saying now, when I was small, that's what we stayed at all the time.
All the time, right?
Church, also at home.
Okay.
You know? We could not go outside during the summertime when school was out unless we
Right.
read from that
Oh,
Bible
you had to
verse.
read it. Okay. So did you ever read this? Watch this.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So a man should not put on a woman's garment, right? What would be a woman's garment that man wear today?
I know.
What is a woman's garment? A dress, right? Tyler Perry, Martin Lawrence, Shaquille O'Neal, Jamie Foxx,
Come on now.
Kevin Hart, right? So So read the top part.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So now a woman should not wear which belongs unto a man. You understand that, Sandra and Shell? Oh, yeah, I'm not talking to you. So what is so a woman should not put on what that pertains to a man? You have no idea what pertains to men. When you look at a restroom, how do you know which one is the women's or the men's? Well, what's on the picture? But that's what we teach. We teach you guys all. God said that a woman should not put on man's clothing, which would be pants or bloomers or breeches, because those are from. What the Bible posts are, you're supposed to examine yourself. 13 and 5, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. You're supposed to examine yourself according to the Bible. You're supposed to understand and read and say, I see myself in the Bible and follow the laws of God. You understand that, my sister? Because that's why we out here for love. This is love to our people.
She want to know who Christ want to come back to save. The whole world.
The whole world, right? So Matthew 15.
Bring it out.
So man, let's see, because the Bible is written to one particular nation.
Teach up.
They mention other nations, but God is talking to a particular nation only, right? Read.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Christ said, this is Matthew, New Testament. Christ said he sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So who is Israel? According to the Bible, not what the news tell you. According to the Bible, who is Israel?
The one that God sent for Israel.
What she said, I can't hear.
She said who God sent here on earth.
So Christ is an Israelite, right? So Christ said he is only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So give me Revelation 21, because then you got the kingdom of heaven, right? So is the kingdom of heaven have every nation on the walls? You say yes? Okay, let's see.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 12.
Bring it out.
And had a wall great and high,
So this is the kingdom of heaven, right? Read.
and had 12 gates. And at
How many gates?
12 gates.
12 gates. Who you think the 12 gates are for? What she's showing you right now. Well, who you think the 12 gates are for? Watch, read.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
So 12 angels protecting the 12 gates.
And names.
And what?
And names.
And what?
And names.
So names where?
Written thereon,
Written where?
which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So the names on the gates are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Bring it out.
Right? So then who did Christ come for? We read it earlier. Read it, go back to it again, because you might miss the thought. Read.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So who did Christ come for? What the Bible say?
Yes.
What the Bible say?
Yes.
What it say? Read it again.
Come on, Stella.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Who did Christ come for?
The lost sheep
Of
the house
Israel.
Israel. That's right, the Israelites. In the Biblia, that's who you are. You from the tribe of Issachar. You understand that? So Christ came for the nation of Israel. And it had 12 gates on that kingdom, right? Now, because you mentioned the whole world, second Esdras. So who did he? So does God care about the other people in the world?
The one that believe in him and trust him and love him.
The one that believes in him and trusts him, right? But who has to believe in Christ? Because you remember, he only came for who? Israel.
Right.
So that's who has to trust in him.
Right.
Israel has to trust in him, which is you, which is us. Watch, read.
Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
So Adam is the Lord of all the creatures, correct? Okay.
Of him come we all.
All nations come out of Adam. Okay.
And the people
And the people.
also whom thou hast chosen.
So God has chosen a people
Bring it
that
up.
come out of Adam. Okay.
Right.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So God made the world for our sakes. The chosen people.
Right.
The chosen.
That is true.
Okay.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
So the other people outside of the chosen that come from Adam,
thou hast said that they are nothing.
the God said that the other nations outside of the chosen are nothing. So does God care about the other nations? No. Watch. Read.
Right.
But be like unto spittle.
But the other nations be like spittle or spit.
Right.
So when you spit, do you want it back in your mouth?
Oh no.
Oh no, you want it out. Like, especially if you got some phlegm, right? Yeah, you don't want no green phlegm. You don't want to swallow that. Right? Read.
And as likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So all the nations put together, it's like a drop. So when you have a cup of water and you drop water out of it, do you care?
Like here?
Yeah, you got a glass of water.
I want all my water.
Right, but if a drop fall out, you're like, no, hold on, put it back.
Oh no.
No, right? God said all the nations together are as a drop that fall out the vessel. I don't care about that drop. Read.
Right.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen,
These who?
these heathen,
God calls those other nations, or those that are like the drop that fall from the vessel, a what?
which have,
Behold these.
behold, these heathen,
Heathen. Heathen means nation.
Right.
The other nations outside of the children of Israel, God said they're heathen, pagan, and they are nothing. Read.
which have ever been reputed as nothing,
They always been known to be nothing. Read.
have begun to be Lord over us.
So those people that have always been known nothing, now they're Lord or boss over us. So who is over the blacks and Latinos today?
That's a good question.
Who's ruling us? Leviticus 26.
Lord is
No, what people are ruling over us? Can you go back to you from Mexico?
I'm from Chicago.
You from Chicago. So can you just walk across the border without nothing happening?
Yes.
With nothing happening. You can just walk without having to go through customs or border patrol.
So they think that
Yeah, you got to show license. You got to show a certificate, right? That's who's ruling. Who made that up?
their country did that.
No, but also here, what does Trump say?
Oh,
Trump don't want illegals in here. He's the illegal. Trump is the illegal.
Bring it out.
Trump is the illegal one, right? Watch this. Leviticus 26 and the reign over us.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 17. And I will set my face against you.
So God said he would set his face against the children of Israel. Read.
And ye shall be slain before your enemies.
God said you're going to be slain before your enemies. Who dies a lot in the streets by other people?
Bring it up.
By the other nations. Who says hands up, don't shoot? I can't breathe.
We call it other nation.
No, we say we can't breathe. Hands up, don't shoot.
Right.
But who shoots us for nothing?
Anybody.
No, but the police do, right? The police do,
They
yeah.
think they can get away with murder.
They get away with murder, right? But it said what?
And ye shall be slain before your enemies.
You will be slain or killed before your enemy. The enemy will kill you. Read.
They that hate you
Hate you. They that hate you.
shall reign over you.
So who's reigning over us? No, who's really reigning over us?
Black people.
Huh? What are their nationality? Who runs the White House? The White House.
Trump?
What nationality is he?
He's Mexico.
Trump is Mexican.
No, I don't know.
He's Caucasian. He's a white man. You trying to say, okay, you mix your words up. So I said what? Read that part again.
They that hate you shall reign over you.
So those heathen or those other nations hate us. That's true. Read.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
So we gonna run, but nobody is chasing us, right? Because we getting killed down in the streets, right? That goes to who? Who that goes to a lot as a nationality? To the blacks, Latinos, and the Native Americans. Because Oklahoma was for who before? No, before the white. The Native Americans, right? And they came and conquered them, right? Deuteronomy 28:49.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Because this belongs to you. Watch. Because I think you heard earlier, again, Matthew 15:24 said, Christ came for the children of Israel, or to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right? So we're going over that our enemies are ruling over us. There's a people that's ruling over us, which hate us. Because who's ruling over us today, my sisters? Y'all stand. Right, read.
Hey, from Dallas.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
I'm from Dallas too. Why?
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
So the Lord is going to bring a nation against the children of Israel from far. Far from the east part of the country, right? Read.
From the end of the earth.
So far east, read.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle. We got the no eagle sign?
No eagle sign.
So as swift as the eagle flies. Who represents an eagle as a nationality? Who uses the eagle?
The president.
The president, right? Which will be called what?
The dollar bills.
The dollar's on the dollar bill, right?
That's right.
So it said what? Read that part again.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As the eagle flying. So the eagle represents a bird of prey.
Right.
It attacks.
Right.
It kills.
Right.
Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So this nation that has a representation of an eagle, he said, you won't understand their language. So when the Latinos or the Native Americans got conquered, what were the conquistadors speaking?
Another language.
Like what? Because conquistador means what? What type of language is conquistador? It's Spanish. It's Espanol. So who was speaking Spanish? Who wasn't? Because we're talking about who came over to this land and conquered the Native Americans and the Latinos, right? So when the people came over here and conquered them, what language were they speaking?
Come on now.
Another language.
They were speaking Spanish or Latin, a form of Spanish, right? So that's why the Latinos speak what? Spanish, because they learn from their oppressor. Same way we speak English today, we are learning from who? Our oppressor. But the Native Americans and the Latinos or the Mexicans were speaking Hebrew prior to being conquered, right? Because you can see right here on this sign, the Native Americans had Hebrew writing on a stone. And even the Aztec or Azteca is a Hebrew word. Right. Boricua is a Hebrew word. Right. So those are Hebrew words they were already speaking here in America. Right. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So they didn't understand that language. Read.
A nation of fierce countenance.
So it said a nation of fierce countenance. They don't care about you at all. Read.
Which shall not regard the person of the old.
So they don't care if you was 7 years old, you're going to pick cotton. You're going to pick sugar cane. You're going to pick oranges today, right? You're going to pick strawberries today. They don't care if you're 7 years old, 5 years old. Read.
Nor show favor to the young.
Nor show, or that was old. They don't care if you old and they're not going to show, they don't care if you a baby. They're going to put you as alligator bait. Right. If you're 60 years old, 70 years old, they still going to have you pick cotton. So, or pick in the field, right? They didn't care. Read.
And he shall eat
who?
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
So that person, that conqueror is going to eat the fruit of your cattle, your resources. He's going to take all your so what happened to the Native Americans here when they got conquered? With buffalo. Y'all know? Because Oklahoma was Native Americans, right? And you had the Trail of Tears. They had to walk from Florida all the way up here. People died through that. They forced them through the snow. You got that Netflix show called American Primeval. They talk about how the Mormons and the so-called white man came and conquered the Native Americans and took all their resources. So buffalo was a form of what for the Native Americans? For everything. Meat, clothing, house. And they made it a sport to kill all the buffalo. You understand that? Read.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
So who is destroyed here in Oklahoma? The Native American. The Bible said that's talking about the children of Israel. Read Deuteronomy 1:1. Because is this Bible all inclusive or is it inclusive? Is it for everybody? Because I said, who did God come for?
For me.
But what the Bible say? The children of Israel. We didn't make that up. Watch, we're going to read it. Watch.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
See that, my brothers? Who's God speaking to? Israelites, which are you. Y'all two brothers, y'all are Israel. Y'all are God's chosen people. That's right. Read. That's it. So go to, what is that? Give me Amos 2:7.
Bring it up.
Because you remember, it's only dealing with Israel. God is in the midst of Israel. That's right. That's it. We read that the other nations are what? They nothing. They spit. That's what we read. You missed it earlier. It said other nations are nothing. Read.
Joel chapter 2. Verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst.
I am in the midst or middle. Read.
Of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
So who is God in the midst of?
Israel.
Israel. What you think, sis? Israel, right?
That's right.
And we read, That's what it says, right? And we read Deuteronomy 1:1. He said Moses spake unto who? Israelites, right? We read earlier to the sister, let's get it, Revelation 21. We read earlier that the gates of heaven was for who? No, it's for the angels too, but they're protecting it. Right. But who gets to walk into those gates?
Bring it up.
Watch, we'll read it again.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 12.
Bring it up.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates.
How many?
12 gates.
12 gates for the kingdom of heaven. Read.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
12 angels protecting the 12 gates. Because when you go to a gated community, who's right there? Huh? No, a gated community. If you go to a gated community, a guard, right? So God it's a similar thing. So there's angels protecting that gate. Read.
And at the gates, 12 angels and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So you see that? the gates of heaven has 12 gates and has the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
So now, my sisters. So my sister, do you understand that? What's your name, my sis?
My name is Kathy.
Kathy. So the Bible said that, right? So now, Moses was speaking to who? The children of Israel, right? And then we read, so that was in Deuteronomy. So go back to Deuteronomy. So we read in Deuteronomy 28.
Ask him how that make you feel.
How that make you feel?
Doing it.
How does it make you feel that knowing that the Bible is for a particular nation of people?
I understand all that.
You understand it?
I understand all that, but I'm not just like an Israelite. I'm an Indian too.
So an Indian for like Native American, right?
Native American, but I'm African American as well.
Right. So it's based on your father's lineage who you are, right?
My father's Indian.
Yeah, your father's lineage. Right? So now, as you see on that sign, do you see Native America on that sign?
I don't see Native
American Indian.
Or American Indian?
right there.
Right there. You see it?
Yes, I see.
So whether you're a Native American, or you're a Black American, or you're a Latino or a Mexican American, you come from the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Because watch, Deuteronomy 28 again.
Bring it up.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Because we read Deuteronomy 1 and 1, so in the same book he's speaking to the children of Israel, right? Okay, read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God said to Moses in Mount Sinai, tell the children of Israel that if they disobey the commandments, curses are going to be upon you. Right? So a curse is good or bad?
Bring it up.
She says bad. They're bad, right? Right? 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So curse shall be in the city, you children of Israel. So if you don't listen to my commandments, you'll be cursed in the city. Now when we line that up with the people today, who are cursed or bad things are happening to in the city?
Bring it up. Wake them up.
People of color, right? You're trying to be politically correct? People of color, right? So Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because in Oklahoma, the Native Americans get pushed to where? To the back, or called the res, right? The reservations, which this was their land. So go to 49 again.
Bring it up.
Verse 49.
So this is another curse. Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
So God is going to bring a nation against the Native Americans or the Latinos from far because you disobeyed the commandments. Read.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
So ones that represents the eagle, we mentioned it was on the back of the dollar bill, so that's America, correct? Or Spain, or Greece, or Rome. All those had the same emblem of an eagle, which we were part in captivity in those things. Read.
As swift as the eagle flies, a nation.
A nation. Read.
Whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So you won't understand the tongue or the language that they speak when they got here. Read.
A nation of fierce countenance.
Fierce means angry countenance. So when the people came to conquer the Native Americans or the Latinos, what did they do to them, my sisters? Nothing good. That's fierce countenance. They raped, robbed, pillaged, and killed and murdered. That's what. Huh?
Bring it up.
They are the conquistadors. You see this man right here? The conquistadors. We got another picture? The conquistadors. That's who the man was that represents the eagle.
Right.
The conquerors. You can read that in historical books that they came and pillaged the land.
Right.
They stole from the Native Americans. They stole from the Latinos, the Mexicans. They stole from them.
Right.
But God said what will happen if we didn't obey him, that's what's going to happen. Jump up to verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
Because you don't serve God, you're going to serve your enemy. Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
So God is going to send an enemy against you in hunger. So if you want food, where do you go?
Bring it up.
Yeah, now, where do you go? Because it's a prophecy of the children of Israel that you will serve your enemy for disobeying God's commandments. So who would you serve for food or hunger?
Bring it up.
Trump, right? Is he of your nation? No, right? So that's your, God called it what? Read that part again. Your what?
Thou shalt serve thine enemies
You're going to serve your enemy in what?
in hunger.
In hunger. So you got to serve your oppressor or your enemy to go to Walmart or go to the store to get food.
But tell me what we can do to make this turn around.
Okay, Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Bring it on!
Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Because we know, okay, so what can we do, right? That's a good question. What can we do? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel.
Now who?
And now Israel.
Who is talking to again? Israel, right? We read that all through the Bible. Who is talking to and choosing? Read.
What doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So Israel, what does the Lord require of you? What is the requirement of you of the Lord? Have y'all been to school or college or anything? You've been to school, right? So in order to go to the next level, you got to do required classes, right? So it means you got to do something in order to move up. So in order to serve God, there's a what?
What do the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
So one requirement is to fear God. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
To walk in all his ways, which are found in the Bible. Read.
And to love him.
To love him is found in the Bible. You read John 14:50. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments.
That's right.
Read.
And to serve the Lord thy God.
See, we're supposed to serve God. Read.
With all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep.
The what?
To keep.
To what?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
So what are we supposed to do as a requirement to God?
Bring it up.
Love, believe in him, trust him, and follow him.
Follow him. What did it say?
Serve him.
What the bottom part say?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
So what are we supposed to do? To keep the commandments. That's the requirement that the children of Israel must do, right?
Bring it
So
up.
go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
Bring it
Because
up.
that's what we have to do. That's the end all be all, and then after that Ecclesiastes 12.
Right.
Because you said, well, what we got to do now? We got to keep the laws of God.
Right.
Since you know that you Israel, you know that the Bible's for you, you got to keep the laws of God. Read.
Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Bring it on!
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do.
To what?
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
So if we keep the commandments, what will happen? My sister. Yeah. What did it say?
Actually, we'll be protected. We'll be protected by God.
Right, but and it said right here, it said we'll be set where?
I don't know.
Read.
To do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
So if we keep the commandments, we'll be set on high.
Right.
Read.
Above all nations of the earth.
So that was what we were supposed to do, was keep the commandments to be set on high.
That's right.
Right? So the requirement is what, my sister?
Keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments, Ecclesiastes 12.
Bring it up.
And then because my sisters, because at the end of the day, what are we supposed to do according to God? At the end all be all. Keep his commandments. Watch, we'll read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13.
Yo.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments.
What's the conclusion? My sister, I know she's talking to you. What is the conclusion of the matter?
The matter is, no, if you break the commandment, you can ask forgiveness and God will forgive you because He's a forgiveness.
Okay, so now what are the commandments?
Don't kill, don't steal, don't
The greatest commandment is love.
Love?
Yes,
Bring it up.
Okay, John 14:15.
Bring it up.
The greatest commandment is love, right? Okay, so we'll find out what love is.
Bring it up.
Because when you read that in Romans, it's saying the greatest commandment, I think that's Romans 13, about following in, the greatest commandment is love.
Right.
It's amongst your brother. So if you love your brother, you won't steal,
That's right.
you won't kill, you won't hurt him,
Right.
you won't, you know what I'm saying? Read.
John chapter 14, verse 15.
Bring it up.
If ye love me,
If, stipulation, right?
keep my commandments.
So you know that, right? So you know you got to keep the commandments. Yeah, so let's read a commandment.
Bring it up.
We're going to read a commandment, okay, sis?
Yes.
Deuteronomy 22 and 2.
Bring it up.
22. Hold on, don't go there. Listen to this law right quick. Listen to the law and then you can go.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
He going to give you a water. He going to give you a water.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So the woman is not supposed to wear what belongs to a man. That's a law of God. So my sister, right? Nikki, we were just talking to the other two sisters about keeping God's laws, right? Because my sister said, what are we supposed to do now since you know that you are the children of Israel? Because God is for you. God is for the children of Israel in this Bible. So now what are the requirements? God said you have to keep His laws. So here's one of the laws that we have to keep as His nation. Read.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a man's not supposed to put on a woman's garment. And a woman's garment is what? She already smiling, she knows. What is a woman's garment? What is a woman? A dress, right? So a man is not supposed to put on a woman's garment, which would be a dress, right? So now Tyler Perry, what is he wearing for Medea? What's her name? Medea. What's her name? Huh? I went too far. With Tyler Perry or the law?
Tyler Perry. Actor.
What dresses?
I know.
You see?
Gird up?
Would they gird up?
Yeah.
What did God say?
Okay, so you're saying that the men in the Bible wear pants like what you got on?
Huh?
No, it's not true.
Huh?
That's saying the men in the Bible wear pants like what you
Yes, the men in the Bible wore pants. We get that in Exodus. Get that in Exodus. Watch, read
Bring
that.
it out.
Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
So we rather obey God than men. So whatever society say that you could put on a dress as an entertainer or whatever is fine, or if that's what they're wearing, but that's not according to God.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.